When a defilement case is reported at the police station, the police are supposed to act fast, have the victim examined to collect evidence of the offense, and offer medical attention. Take the victim or guardian's statement, preserve the scene of the crime, record statements from eyewitnesses, find the suspect and record their statement too. A file is then compiled and taken to the Director of Public Prosecutions, the DPP. But despite this elaborate process, only a few of the many cases reported get to a courtroom.
Most times there are so many cases that have been opened, yet the courts are limited. We're looking at Kampala right now, but what about districts like Katakwi?
Few lawyers are willing to put in hours providing free legal services for these kinds of crimes, which leaves the DPP with a very heavy workload with little or no help. Some districts do not have chief magistrates, so the cases will stay until they can be transferred to an area that has a chief magistrate. But that is not the only reason. Some leaders hold the belief that someone in authority is sleeping on the job.
You find these people who have been reported or they have been arrested, they are on remand without even being heard or charged for quite a number of months or even years. Why isn't the court acting so fast on this kind of crimes?
Cases of defilement are very sensitive. The culture among many Africans is that sex is a taboo subject, so children will generally get uncomfortable talking about these experiences with elders, and that means by the time they do speak up, little can be done.
Time is critical, because if you come to me after 3 days, there are high chances that you've actually showered or the child has been bathed.
Parents delay to report these cases, all victims. Somebody comes after a year, after months, after a week, when all the evidence has been cleared away.
Sometimes parents will choose to withdraw a case for one reason or another. Courts cannot proceed with a case without a victim, especially if an out-of-court settlement has been reached between the defiler and the girl's guardians. On many occasions, the girl is given no choice in the matter. Sometimes the defender is also a minor, so they are subjected to just a fine and a 6-month stay in prison. When the defiler is a guardian, relatives would rather cover up the crime and restrict the child from freely testifying against the hand that feeds them. Sadly, that case will be lost too. Another problem has been corruption, not just at the community level, but with the very authorities that are supposed to help.
Definitely there are corrupt tendencies among our officers, especially when a defilement case occurs and they realize that somebody is in position to give them money.
They say this is a problem they are working at fixing.
That officer will have to be taken on for connivancy, and the professional standards unit will come in. Even we have started taking on parents, relatives who give away their daughters when they are still young.
Sometimes some cases make it to court, but carry sentences that seem lenient compared to the crime. The provisions in the penal code for defilement seem to have been ignored.
When a case gets to courts of law, then it's at the discretion of the presiding judge to give a sentence according to the file.
Actually, these magistrates or judges see that the evidence is not that sufficient. It could be collaborative. And most of these criminal cases, you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt. The ones that have been successful, Josephine, they've got you in the act.
The law on defilement was strengthened in the 8th Parliament with the introduction of a clause on aggravated defilement. But even the members of Parliament say that the clause is not enough to stem the escalating cases of these vice.
Generally, society has not appreciated the gravity of sexual offences. Even when somebody commits an offence on sexual offences, there is a way that families usually negotiate out of court, and this has affected a lot of work around this area.
In 2011, over 7,000 cases of defilement were reported in Uganda. The projection for 2012 is over 8,000 cases. The police say they have plans of tackling these rising numbers.
We are going to roll out a program of going to the different schools to see how can we equip these young girls.
They are also currently training their investigators to equip them with the necessary skills and logistics to better their work.
Just like we have, for example, the anti-corruption court, it's the same way I would love to see a special unit or a special court that generally just handles defilement cases, rape, or any offenses relating to sexual acts. Because at the end of the day, if we go through like a normal trial, a normal process in court, that today the witness is coming back for mention or this, the pressure or the interest in the matter tends to die out.
Defilement is the leading sex crime in Uganda, and the worst affected areas are Iganga, Kamuli, Jinja, Rakai, Soroti, Mbale, Mubende, Katwe and Mukono. Josephine Karunji Musisi, NTV.